Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be going over my thoughts and like some little Easter eggs and my breakdown of the first What If. So let's hop straight into it. The episode was called What If Captain Carter Were the First Avenger. So we had, obviously to start off, we had the animation of the Marvel logo. So like you hear the dum 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 dum, and then obviously all the superheroes come on, but then you see like this animation version of it afterwards, and it's kind of like the normal intro because I watched the second episode right afterwards because I was a little bit late on it because I was on vacation last week. But yeah, you get like these shards of glass and this guy talking to you, and basically he says that all these little shards of glass are different realities and different timelines and different stories. And then we find out that actually that person talking to us was the Watcher, which is a new character introduced into the MCU, and I wonder if he's going to be brought up like in the main timeline or not, so that'll be really cool to see. My thoughts on like the action part of the scenes was phenomenal. I actually really liked them. I loved the animation style. It felt like almost like a cartoonish, but kind of like a comic book, like if a real life comic book came into life. So I thought that was really dope. So to start off, we see that obviously they're in a different timeline. So it starts off with like the explosion in the room and Peggy basically saying, I'll take the super soldier serum because the agent blew up the stuff and shot Captain America or Steve. After that, the Colonel was saying like how she's not meant to be in the war, she's a woman, she can't fight, basically just some outlandish stuff. Then we get a scene from when backtrack a little bit, we get a scene when Peggy goes into the actual super soldier serum like Steve was. You can see that they kind of tried to replicate from the actual movie to the show on like trying to get like the same scenes and matched up and everything like that, and I thought that was really cool. Obviously when the Colonel told Peggy that he thought that it was a waste of a super soldier serum when she got in, she was obviously mad. So she did the one boxing scene like Captain America did. As you can see, when she throws the weight plates or whatever, the weighted plates, it's almost as like she was throwing a shield, which I thought was really cool. And then after that, Captain America brings up, he's not Captain America, I gotta stop saying that. Steve Rogers brings up how it's not as bad, you could be in costume and doing dances and stuff like that, which is a callback to when he was Captain America and how the Colonel made him do shows and stuff like that. So I thought that was just really cool and a cool callback to the real timeline. So now we see Stark, Tony's dad, give Peggy her suit and her shield, which looked phenomenal, by the way. And we got to see this action scene of like her like fighting with the shield. It was really cool. And then after that, we see that Steve is actually gonna get a suit like Iron Man because they collect the Tesseract. Peggy gets the Tesseract and brings it back to the Colonel. And what Stark does is he builds a Iron Man type suit for Steve so he can go to war. And it looks more like the what's the guy's name? The Iron. I want to say he almost looks like the Iron Giant, if you guys know what that is. But it was really cool. And then afterwards, you got to see Steve and Peggy as a duo when trying to rescue Bucky. And I thought that was really cool. You got to see Peggy do obviously her thing. You got to see Steve fly around and destroy tanks. It was really cool. He was almost like in a Hulkbuster type of suit. After that, we see them go to like the snowy train scene, if you guys remember that from the first movie, from the Captain America First Avenger movie. We see everybody gets on the plane. Bucky's still alive. Bucky almost falls off the train though. Like, come on, my guy. he almost falls off the train and then gives a call back because Peggy obviously lifts him up. And he says, you almost ripped my arm off, which is a callback to, obviously, in the MCU, he has his arm ripped off. Or he doesn't have his arm ripped off, but he has his arm gone, basically, and it's metal. And then Steve's obviously in the front of the train, like, trying to stop it and stuff like that, and then he opens up the train, tries to see who's in there driving it. Turns out it was just a bunch of bombs. Spoiler if you haven't seen it. It's a bunch of bombs. And then Steve blows up, and then my initial thought was like, great, here we go. Now Peggy's alone, and it's gonna be like the same thing but reversed. I was wrong though. Steve is still alive. The suit was still alive. It was indestructible, like Stark said it would be. And then after that, we see this octopus. We see the Red Skull capture, obviously, Steve. And then we see like this weird octopus thing with like the teleport thing, like with the Tesseract. It's kind of weird. I don't know who it is, but it could be a villain later on, maybe. Maybe even be introduced into the MCU or like into the main timeline. So I'm not sure what that could be, but maybe it is. Then we see Peggy has to sacrifice herself, kind of like what Steve did, to save the people. And had to push the octopus looking thing back into the portal so it would not be no longer in that timeline, I guess, or in that time. So she did that. After that, she comes out of the portal because if you guys know from the scene from the very first Avengers movie, where Nick Fury and Hawkeye are in that basement and they open up the lab and Loki comes out, it's actually different. It's Peggy comes out and the octopus is all cut up and everything. Basically, she cut up the octopus a lot. And then Nick Fury obviously tells her that the war's over. You're in the time. You're like however many years up in the future. And then that was kind of like the end of it. And then we get to see the Watcher at the end telling him how about there's more stories to come and that he can't wait to basically see them, because he's not going to do anything. He's basically like the narrator, is what I got from it. And I thought that was pretty cool to introduce like a new character as like a narrator, which I thought was really, really cool. But yeah, no big criticisms on the actual show itself. Loved the action, loved the animation style. The dialogue was, I think, as best as they could do. Even though it's not like a real facial feature, it was still pretty good. There was no post-credit scene, so nothing like that was at the end of it. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think about it. And yeah, I thought those were some cool details. Those were my little breakdown of the episode and my thoughts on it. Let me know if you guys want to see any more. I'm going to be doing a part 2, the episode 2 that just came out, I believe today or yesterday, one of the two. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming up shortly. It'll probably be the next day or the day after. So yeah, it's been your boy, guys. Extra Border. Peace.